Corrupt government, one of the most corrupt governments in the world, the United States government. Our corporates, corruption. Here's a good article for you. In Texas, some of the ranchers are calling it, this is the U.S. Chernobyl. Texas ranchers say forever chemicals in waste-based fertilizers ruin their land. The fertilizer maker says its products are safe and that the government supports using it as a valuable practice that recycles nutrients to farmland. So, government's paid off to say you can put waste on your products or on your fields. That they grow our crops for our food source. And also the let me find this part in this article. It is on, I'll leave a link below, but it's on WFAA.com, and it's from Texas. And here we go. Ames said, it's a farmer, or it says, here you go. Late last year, he contacted Johnson County Constable Detective Diana Ames. She headed out to the ranch to check it out. Ames said she found what she later learned were piles of fertilizer made from biosolids. I made a video on that earlier here in eastern Washington, about 100 miles away from where I live, up by Mansfield, Washington. There is piles and piles of bio-waste. I already made a video on it. They are hauling poop from King County. So the Democrats who are sitting there saying how we need to have a clean food source, all this other stuff, they're dumping bio-waste on our crop fields, dryland wheat. So it's not being washed away by sprinkler systems where it's pushing it down into the earth. It's just staying right there, and when the ground is tilled, it's tilled into the dirt, and the plants sit there and absorb it. And dryland wheat is that's why it's called dryland wheat, because they don't water it. So the plants live off the moisture they get out of the air, out of the ground. And of course, let's go ahead. For a year, Detective Ames partnered with scientists and experts to try to figure out how toxic man-made chemicals ended up on ranch land in rural Texas. You wonder why? Politicians saying, okay, yeah, pat our pockets, and you can put that toxic waste on our crop fields. The contamination that has occurred on our victims' properties is pervasive, she told commissioners in her presentation. Okay, according to multiple studies and the Environmental Protection Agency, all humans consume PFAS chemicals, which are the forever chemicals, which cause cancer and all that other good stuff, which are used to make all sorts of products, including shampoo, carpets, frying pans, which is the coating on frying pans. Of course, PFAs weren't designed for frying pans, but they were designing it for other things. But they found out when it was dry, it was a slippery surface, so they decided to put it on frying pans. And now how it's been banned on a lot of frying, in the United States on a lot of cooking products. Well, they still use it in, like I said, shampoos, carpet making. They're still on frying pans. You can still get a lot of frying pans that are imported from China and stuff. They still put it on there. And makeup and, other ways of getting it into our systems. The chemicals end up in our human waste, which is then sent to a wastewater treatment facility. During the treatment, biosolids are created. And all those chemicals end up in that biosolids, which they dump on the farm fields. Those biosolids, also called sewage sludge, can be used to make fertilizer, which is what a company called Synagro does. So, where is it? Let's go to the part where it talks about all the animals it's killed on his one ranch. And Hold on one sec. Right here. He said he's had 10 cows, 2 horses, and 5 ponds full of fish die. Okay. If it's killing off the fish, the runoff from those poop fields, if it's killing off the fish, cattle, horses, what's it doing in our food supply? Because that stuff is working its way around and going to end up in our crops. And those cattle, they're going to end up on somebody's dinner plate. The wheat up here in eastern Washington, up north, it's going to end up in that wheat, which is going to end up in our breads and everything else that's made out of wheat. And it's the same exact thing. So there's a big lawsuit against the government and the corporations down there that are making those forever chemical poop fertilizer. And other states, like here in Washington, they're still doing it. You know, I can't blame it all on Democrats, but like they said, from down there, it's coming from San Antonio, the city of San Antonio. It's their poop waste. And up here in Washington, it's from King County. Of course, those are two majorly ran by Democrat. The Democrat Party runs both of those areas, so kind of interesting. And of course, those Republicans are out there getting paid off too, because it's getting dumped in areas that are ran by Republicans. So they're getting their pockets padded too, or are just really stupid and believe in those politicians and those companies over there that are in the other side of the states or wherever that are pushing, let's put it on the farm fields. It's going to be nutrition. Oh, I'm sure there's nutritional value to it, and those plants are going to absorb it. Make your plant grow better. But who cares? Little, forever chemicals in our food. Since we're already getting it in other food, or they're already putting it in additives anyway, you might as well eat it too, right? What's the matter with our government? And people think, when I tell them I think our government is completely corrupt. Some people, no, it's the best, country. Well, we might have the best country, but our government's one of the most corrupt in the world. It's like when you have the FBI politicized against one party or politician or ordered by another politician. You got all this criminal stuff going on in our government. One politician can do it. They want to charge one politician, oh, you can't not agree with the outcome of this. We're going to sit there and say, you are interfering. Oh, we're going to try to charge you with that. But when it happened before by the opposite party, it was okay. And they had a lot of made up stuff with that, including Russia, which ended up being found out that it actually just came from that party and they were just kind of making it up. But no one was arrested. No one went to jail. No one had no big trial over it. Our government is crazy corrupt. And, if you got all this excess poop from your big cities, why don't you just go dig a big stinking hole and dump it in there so it's not going to end up in our food source? Why are you spreading it on our food? I was reading this article the other day over in King County. There's a big tree farm over there, and they take these spreaders and go right to the forest, and they're spreading poop all over everything and clear up on the tree limbs and the whole sides of the trees. It's covered in poop. So you're dumping it all over the forests over there. And the article said, oh, there was no more room over there. They've already, covered the area where they could with the poop. So now they're putting it on all the farm fields. So you're going to put all these toxic chemicals that they sit there and tell you and admit they cannot clean out, and they're not cleaning them anyway. They're just kind of drying out the poop out, the poop, so you come up with solids, and that's exactly what they're putting on the fields. All the chemical waste, everything that goes into a sewer, everything from your shampoos to your leftover grease to the poop you flush down the toilet to the cleaners, you know, those toxic cleaners, when you clean your floor, all that waste that's going down that drain ends up in that biosolids. And it ends up on the farm fields. And now there's big lawsuits in, like I said, in Texas. And I'll leave a link below for this article. And right here, it's chemicals that are man-made, Ames said. It's in the sewage sludge. It's in the biosolids. And it's in the food because the plants are absorbing it. I'll leave the links to the articles. I'll find a couple of the articles and I'll leave them below in the description. So you guys can check it out and see how corrupt our government is and how they're getting together with these corporations and companies to make all this stuff to make more money off of. And it doesn't matter if it's going to end up poisoning our food or not. They don't care. So leave some comments. Let me know what you think. You think the government's looking out for you? You know, when you sit there and say, or see these things, and when they sit there and say vitamins, oh, it's not FDA approved. It's not FDA approved. What does the FDA approve? Look at the FDA website. They approve how much rat poop can be in a box of cereal. They approve how much strychnine and all this other. Well, you can only have this much of this amount of poison. You can only have this much of this amount of poison. You can only have this much of that amount of poison. The only thing that FDA does is approves poisons. They don't approve vitamins or anything that's really good for you. They approve poisons. Look into it. It's a fact. The government ain't out for your health. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.